Welcome back. Nepeta, give Tavros the bad news. AC curls up in Tavros's lap. Okay, for the time being, and for the sake of this fantasy scenario, I pretend that my cat allergies aren't that bad. Oh no! What happened to Tinkerbell? Well, it's okay. He'll come back as a sprite. They all die. That is canon. AC takes a long nap and then wakes up and frowns because she has bad news. Oh no, is what I say about the bad news, not the nap. Tavros, I'm sorry, but I can't be on your team. I'm not allowed. Oh, that's okay. Then I guess he said no then. Yes, unfortunately. I'm so mad. It's probably for the best that you listen to him. I don't know. You think so? Well, if you didn't listen to him before, you might have played games with us before, and something bad might have happened to you. Perhaps. But I still feel bad. I'll find another player. It's not a big deal. Good luck being on the blue team. Okay, thanks. You fondly recall your days of far more intensive role-playing. It seems like so long ago now. Aside from a few unfortunate moments, it was a lot of fun. If you had to do it all over again, you suppose you would have selected better company. Maybe this game you're playing tonight will rekindle some of that excitement. Tinkerbell? Some time ago. Flashback. Flashback. End flashback. You stand in your room on a healthy pair of legs and in a plucky little outfit. You are a low-level boy Skylark, and you wield an inexpensive dagger lance, which is the closest thing to a jousting lance you can wield that is still compatible with your favorite class. You're about to play a popular game called Flarp, which, unlike most games published by major developers, was given a graceful and aesthetically pleasing name. It's a title under the extreme role-playing genre, and playing it without caution can have serious real-world consequences. But that's what makes it fun. When you activate Flarp's Grub, the campaign program for tonight will begin. Team Charge will duel Team Scourge as usual. This is going to be great. Tavros, contact fellow Team Charge member. Aradia, my grub is laying now, so I'll be ready soon. Cool, mine too. I don't know where Terezi is though. She's running late. Oh, should we wait? No, I'll be clouding her campaign for her regardless, with or without her. Her loss is if she doesn't make it. It'll give you a chance to gain some ground. Okay. You picked a tough class, Tavros. None of the really useful combat abilities come into play until you reach a very high level. But I suppose it will be very rewarding when you get there. Yeah, I think you're right, but it's the class I think is most fun, and battle skill is not all there is to being a great adventurer. I couldn't agree more. You might be the only Flarper in the world who really understands the true spirit of the game. Everyone else is so aggressive and treasure hungry, but that's what makes beating them all the more satisfying. Yeah, I guess. Remember, your Clouder isn't going to pull any punches tonight. Don't fall for her mind games. I'll be there to assist, of course. If you're in trouble, don't hesitate to ask for help. Yeah, I won't. Thanks, Aradia. No problem. Tavros, hatch campaign. Your campaign's game flapstractions hatch out of their eggs. These comprise all the data and procedures you will need for your adventure tonight. They disperse throughout the terrain surrounding your hive. They follow both pre-programmed and live instructions by your Clouder, a member of Team Scourge, whose role is to provide you with a challenging scenario, while your teammate does the same for Scourge's other player. Tavros, go outside and begin your adventure. You take your starting position in the field. The game is afoot, and anything can happen now. It's up to you to consult your maps and work with your teammates to discover the objectives of the quest, find treasure, and slay monsters. Your stat bat has bonded with you. This keeps track of every attribute for your character, including vitals. While these attributes in principle remain abstractions, due to the fact that this is extreme role-playing, they will always relate in some way to your real-life attributes as well. You've got to be careful out there. Arachnid's grip began trolling Adios Toreador. Well? Hey, boy moron, are you going to just stand there all night? Make your move! Make your move! Make your move! I just think these monsters are too strong. Sorry, but they don't seem appropriate for this campaign either. Weak. Weaky. Is that a real thing to say? Yes, your blatant excuse making is the weakest, lame, Lame that ever shit the coward bed. Weakest lame. Roll your dice. Make your move. Advance or abscond. I can't abscond. There's no, absconding place. But absconding is what you do best. I ain't managed to cloud a scenario you couldn't squawk out in a blazing trail of cluckbeast feathers. You cannot hope to beat Tavros Nitrum in an abscond off. He is simply the best there is. That sounds flattering, theoretically, but I don't think... Hey, pipe down. Make your move. Advance or abscond. Advance or abscond. Roll, Tavros. Roll. Okay, hold on for a moment. Aradia, hey, are you there? Hey, Terezi, I have a problem. No one can help you, Tavros. Okay, time to decide. Where is everybody? What does that have to do with your present cowardice? I don't know. Probably nothing. Are you going to roll? No, I can't. Why not? Because I was thinking about the numbers, and it's possible for there to be a favorable outcome no matter what the dice do. So you give up? Yeah, maybe. Why not roll and make it official? Why would you want to cheapskate me out of bonuses like that? It's so thoughtless. Am I going to have to take the matters into my own hands to make your move for you? I thought you couldn't use powers. I mean real life powers, not game ones. It's against the rules. If you're going to break the rules and refuse to roll, what choice do I have? I hate that it had to come to this. But what can I do? Tavros, have I mentioned how cute you look in that plucky little outfit? Why, if I didn't know better, I'd say I was playing with Pupa Pan himself. Isn't that what you want, Tavros? To be like Pupa? Of course you do. What boy wouldn't want to be like Pupa? So dashing and brave. He's everything you are not. For one thing, he can fly. Do you want to fly, Tavros? Have you ever tried to fly? I bet you haven't. How about we take to the skies, Pupa? Oh, you like that idea, Pupa. Yes, you do. I can feel it in your simple, malleable brain. You want to fly so bad. Fly, Pupa. Fly. Oh, God. There's a lot of laughing. Adios, Torio dumbass. AG just jumped me off a cliff with my brain, and, my legs also, and now they feel invisible? Wow, I'm sure there was a better way to say that. Anyway, that's really all there is to report on the subject of me getting hurt. CG. Hey, asshole! Stop playing games for girls! But not too far into the present, right around this moment with Karkat in the toilet during a conversation we have already read, which ended like this. Psst. Hey, brave leader. Oh my god, why are you talking to me? Can I join your team? Yes, I'm glad you asked, because there's a wide open slot for the most vile, backstabbing sociopath who ever lived. You really helped me out of a jam by stepping forward. Vile, backstabbing sociopath? Karkat, did you copy and paste that phrase directly from your personal ad describing what you're looking for in a lady? Ha ha ha. More cagey, cutesy bullshit. Like I'm not up to my lobe stem with that ad already having to deal with Terezi. You both must have been insufferable when you were a team. Your opponents probably all just tried to commit suicide after a few minutes of putting up with your fangy grinned drivel. That's probably how it all went down when they shit hit the thresher. That's not a bad guess, but man, Karkat, you sure are giving me a hard time. I don't see how we're supposed to be becoming friends if you recoil from my olive branch, like I'm twitching a mummified bovine phallus in your direction. Becoming friends? What the fuck? We will never be friends, moron. Not even hate friends? No, more like twitchy-eyed projectile vomiting and utter disgust friends, while I perforate my bone bulge with a culling fork. Yes, I'll take it. Get lost. Anyway, I was just joking about wanting to be on your team. I'm already on the blue team. Oh, really? Wait, let me count out 8 of these things. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There, I am now an enormous tool forever. Yes, Arati and I have an arrangement. We will be co-leaders, but really I will be the leader. Shh, don't tell anyone. What do you think, Carcat? Can you take on 2 dangerous ladies at once? Yawn. Come on, aren't you a little nervous that I will oppose you? You should be. No, you're just a run-of-the-mill little psycho girl. A troll cigar a dozen. I'll be taking apart the blue team with brutal efficiency. You'll see. You never played one of your dumb games with me, so you never had the privilege of seeing what I can do. Enjoy the show, sweetheart. Just don't even think about using your mind control tricks on my players. Remember the truce. Psh, those days are far behind me. Anyway, I can't control just anybody. They've got to be impressionable. Like you. You can't control me. Sure I can. I just choose not to. Yeah, okay. I find your mind totally unpalatable to browse. Looking into your brain is like pawing through a smelly dumpster full of broken glass and razor blades. And poop. Ugh. Whatever, don't even try it. I've got better Scourge Sister on my team, and if you break your truce, you'll have to answer to her. The funny thing is, she was always way better than you, even without any powers. Yeah, that's right. I know your whole story. You were always jealous she could manipulate people so well without resorting to cheap mind tricks. Ha! I can tell this burns you, and it can't even paw through your dumpster. Chalk it up as another infuriating victory for gutter blood over aristocracy. Oh, what's that? Nothing to say? Wow, speechless, I guess. You're probably crying right now. That'd make my fucking day. Hey, look at me being the one to talk shit at warp speed, then log off before you can reply. Bye, idiot. Carcinogeneticist ceased trolling Arachnid's crypt. Carcinogeneticist began trolling Arachnid's crypt. Oh, back so soon? Did your thumb slip on the button? I guess you can't get enough of me. You made me do that, and you know it. You ain't got nothing on me, and you can't prove shit. Anyway, Carcat, I just wanted to say, heart. Carcat, be the other asshole. You are now the other. Oh God. You decide that we should probably stand to delay this guy's introduction a little longer. Why don't we see what someone else is up to? Anyone. Hurry. You switch to a vague teaser of the final unseen troll in the nick of time. Prod. Cull. Aradia, go home. You head back to your hive to get the blue team session started. It's been a while. You revisit the remains of your quaint rural hive. Your lawn ring and the small excavation sites you dug up for practice are all overgrown with vegetation. You haven't been here since the night of the accident. On that night you found your calling. The voices of the dead grew louder, urging you to return to the ruins you discovered not long before. You left so abruptly you didn't even have time to bury your Lucis. But that's fine, because trolls don't typically bury their dead. Leaving bodies to be consumed by wild animals is far more customary. Aradia, begin session. Oh, it's a little music box. That makes sense. You have an arrangement to begin the session as co-leader with one of the Blue Bloods. You understand this player intends to make a power grab and take sole possession of the leadership role. Such subterfuge is typical of their caste, but you're perfectly okay with this. It's one of the many things you're okay with. You allow your co-player to take the lead and enter the medium first. You understand that the leadership role is essentially meaningless. Aside from offering the distinction of being the first player to enter, you also understand that entering the game second was always your intention. Aradia, connect to server player. You have a server player connect to you, someone you personally selected for the role. The devices required for entry are deployed. The kernel sprite awaits prototyping, but unlike all 11 other players, your dead Lucis is not available. You have to use something else. Aradia, Tier 1 prototype. Prototyping with the frog head before entering the medium would prove to be critical for later success. Just another of many assurances whispered by the dead. You've long since stopped questioning them, or doubting the future significance of even spontaneous acts of frivolous desecration. Compelling your non-plus server player to perform this task might have proven difficult. Luckily, your telekinesis, an ability greatly magnified through your calling, would be sufficient to move the massive object, whereas the game cursor likely would not. Your server player simply watched in mystification. She really just had no idea what the hell was going on. Aradia, enter. You enter the medium, taking your place in the land of quartz and melody as the Maid of Time. Meanwhile, your client player has been exploring another world. The Blue Blood has a present for you. The present cannot be duplicated via alchemy at this stage of the game. It would cost too much grist, a detail which this player had not been aware of. The player would have to progress to the second gate of their own world, arrive through the gate of your hive, and deliver it in person. Facilitating this delivery was one of the reasons why it was important for you to enter second. Your server player's confusion is only in part due to learning the ropes of a new game. There is a more significant reason for her befuddlement. While she followed your advice and went through the simple motions of game setup, at no point were you visible on her monitor. She saw your damaged hive, she saw the alchemimeter and the other devices she deployed, she saw the strange computing device on the floor bearing the visage of a species she didn't recognize. She even saw a great big stone frog head fly through the air all by itself and become the frog sprite. And though she would ask why, you would always delay the answer. The fact remained. She couldn't see you. Aradia, Tier 2 prototype. She couldn't see you up until the moment after the sprite's second prototyping, because you were dead all along. We are all completely blown away by this stunning revelation. Wow, dead, really? Like a ghost? Huh? Nepeta, interrogate Frog Girl. Aradia, I can see you! That is you, right? Yes. Why are you floating a frog all of a sudden? I'm dead. My spirit merged with the frog sprite. Wow, dead? Really? Like a ghost. Huh. Well, I hope this doesn't make me sound dumb, but I'm completely blown away by that stunning revelation. You don't sound dumb. Woo! How did you die? I ignored the advice of a friend and made some bad choices. AC rumples up her nose in perplexment at AA's really vague and spooky answer. But actually that's good because I kind of think I don't want to know. It's making me sad thinking about it. Okay. Nepeta, can you please keep this a secret? Yes! I promise I won't tell anyone about it. And by promise, I mean promise. Just so you know I'm being serious right now. Thank you. Ribbit. Whoops. Aradia, be the huge bitch. Blah blah. Enter name. Your name is Vriska Circuit. You're a master of extreme role-playing. You can't get enough of it, or really any game of high stakes and chance. You've persisted with the habit even in spite of your accident. But then again, you don't have much choice. Your Lucis is very hungry, all the time. She can only be appeased by the flesh of young trolls. You cloud campaigns for Team of Flarpers, utilizing your abilities for orchestrating the demise of the impressionable. Your victories supply you with treasure, experience points, and spider food. You are something of an apocalypse buff, which is something you can be on Alternia. You are fascinated by end-of-the-world scenarios and enjoy constructing doomsday devices just for the hell of it. You're drawn to means of dark prognostication and the advantages they offer, particularly in gaming scenarios. Your abilities in this department were hobbled by the loss of your vision eightfold, and you have since sought alternatives through various black oracles you consult with these ominous globes, but routinely destroy them in frustration over the puzzling guaranteed inaccuracy of their predictions. Breaking them has developed into a habit bordering on the fetishistic, and with each you destroy you add an insurmountable stockpile of terrible luck. You have to stop, but addiction is a powerful thing. Your troll tag is Arachnid's Grip, and your statements tend to be just a little bit overdramatic. What will you do? Well, the 8-ball wasn't inaccurate. When Jade asked it whether it was John's birthday, it said, sort of, which it is, because he was never born, because he's a Paradox clone. Vriska, check out cool drawing on wall. Yeah! You drew your own role-playing character for fun, as many Flarpers are prone to do. She's the best character, and you wish you were her. Oh wait, you are her. Your wish has been granted, probably as a special boon for being so great at everything. Her name is Marquis Spinneret Mindfang, scourge of land dwellers and sea dwellers alike, and worst nightmare to silly boy skylarks everywhere. She's accumulated more treasure and gained more levels than any member of the Petticoat Seagrift class ever. She gained all the levels, all of them. Yeah! Vriska, proceed to computer. You have a lot to do, so many irons in the fire. Ow! Lousy dice. You just can't ever seem to go anywhere in your hive without stepping on an errant D4. Pointy little bastards. It's just your bad luck, you guess. You've had such terrible luck ever since your accident, and it just keeps getting worse. As far as you're concerned, the world can't end soon enough. As you were saying, so many irons in the fire, such a tangled web. It's a web full of flaming irons and mixed metaphors. Tonight's a big night. You have a lot of meddling to catch up on tonight. Bugging and fussing and meddling. Vriska, take dice. Trispecific, dice kind. You equip your enchanted dice set, the fabled Fluorite Octet. It consists of 8d8 plundered from a ghost ship during a particularly challenging campaign. In an ancient time, such weapons were employed by roving bands of Gamligans, deadly marauders with a passion for chance. They all died off, though. Took too many crazy risks, I guess. Rolling the dice will execute a wide range of highly unpredictable attacks. Very high rolls can be devastating to even most powerful opponents. Of course, with the luck you've had lately, you couldn't make a good roll to save your life. Gotta do something about this awful luck. Gotta catch a break. But you're getting worked up about stuff. You put 8s in places that don't really make a lot of sense phonetically. Vriska, begin meddling. Time to get this show on the road. There are so many people to meddle with tonight. After you ditch an unwelcome solicitor first, that is. Doesn't she realize how rude it is to meddle? You'll fuss with her meddling later. What now? Oh, him. You thought he'd wash his hands of you. Strange timing that he's bugging you tonight after so long without a peep. Vriska, deal with this guy. He types in white, so we will have to highlight what he says. Hello. Oh my god, why are you talking to me? This is the last time we'll ever talk. Still sticking with the white text, I see. So smooth and stylish. I forgot how much I loved highlighting it to read all the boring things you have to say. It's like a fun game for super extra handicapped moron people. Like opening a present, find out what obnoxious thing the mystery tool typed. What is it? A parting courtesy, I suppose. All the ways I've exploited you were meant to bring about the events that will take place this evening. Knowing this will provide context for the events in your near future and will affect how you behave in response. These events will be just as important as those preceding it. I've gone to great lengths, you see. You didn't exploit me. You're just a petty douche with a bad temper who likes to play games, and all I did was humor you. I did exploit you. Very thoroughly. It was very easy. So full of yourself. Have I ever lost a game? Don't change the subject. What subject are you referring to? I'm going to log off in a big huff, and you have to promise not to use that nasty trick where you log me back on out of petty douchey spite, and then we can go back to never ever talking, because man, that was heaven when it was like that. There's no need for that kind of assurance. I'll be brief. I no longer hold you accountable for any wrongdoing. In fact, I have given your transgression very little thought since the incident. If you acknowledge this amnesty and regard it as sincere, you may begin to find the odds falling in your favor again. This may be essential if you're to succeed in your journey. Slow down, man. I'm just wearing out so many pens taking all these important notes. Fuck. Fuck you for ruining all my good note-taking pens and giving me this terrible cramp in my good note-taking hand. Incredible, the risks you take with your scorn. But of course, it was your unpleasant, simplistic temperament that made you so easy to control. Vicious and predictable, like an insect. If you turn a swarm of wasps on a crowd, the outcome is certain. It takes no skilled strategist to understand this. You were in fact a waste of my talents. A primitive expedient. Blech, what a snob. You're worse than my meddler friend. I wonder why they waste their camaraderie on you. I'll never really understand it. I thought you said you would be brief. I'll say one last thing. Though the magnitude of the ensuing destruction resulting directly from your actions will be neither possible or necessary for you to fathom, there nevertheless ought to be a silver lining. The only question is whether you will live long enough to see it. I'm not a gambling man, but if I was, I wouldn't bet on it. Goodbye. Bye, asshole. Z's. Bump. More hollow comebacks. As hollow and wishy-washy as the inside of one of these dumb black globes. What use is all the attitude against the guy who's never wrong? It's so depressing. You can't even work up the energy to smash this stupid thing. Maybe you could stand to have some camaraderie wasted on you, even if it comes from a meddler friend. Vriska, endure meddling. What? I just wanted to know, is your Lucis dead yet? Huh? What kind of question is that? Is this a trick? Are you trying to sabotage me? Are you in cahoots with someone? No. Cahoots! Cahoots, I say! You sure do seem to be saying cahoots. I'm just asking because mine's dead. What? Oh no, how did that happen? It was just her time. Really? Are you sure it wasn't sabotage? I would suspect sabotage if I was you. No. There was no plot or conspiracy or any trace of saboteurs operating through the special and magical union one can only describe as being in cahoots with another. When a virgin mother grub abdicates and renounces brooding, her time will be relatively short. I always knew this. She was so cool. You had the coolest Lucis of anyone I know. I wanted to meet her someday. Maybe you still can. Yeah, meet her corpse. I guess it's not so bad a consolation prize. Seeing a big, dead, cool mother grub? Wow, you were so lucky? My Lucis sucks. Why'd you ask if she's dead anyway? Do you know something? They are all dying, or are going to soon. I believe it's a preemptive consequence of the game we are about to play, if a preemptive consequence is a concept that can be said to hold any meaning. But from what I understand, if it is applicable in any sphere at all, then this game holds that sphere. Okay, I don't really get any of that, so you just go ahead and think I'm some dumb flighty broad again. I wasn't going to think that. You know what? I don't think even I really understand what I just said, so never mind. Now you have me a little worried. Man, I hope she's okay. Why would this happen? This is just my luck. Have some died besides yours? And, you know whose, I guess? Yes, a few. Karkat thinks it's his fault. He believes his actions triggered an inauspicious chain reaction. You mean a curse? Sure. Wow, between his curse and my shitty luck, we're all so fucked. I'm not surprised to see you endorse his paranoia without hesitation, but I was attempting to illustrate a point in bringing it up. Whew, there goes one sailing over the idiot girl's head. Alright, lay it on me. These events are inevitable, and regardless of whatever emotional entanglements obfuscate their significance, they will ultimately serve an important purpose. The curse had nothing to do with it, and Karkat's notion of a curse is inseparable from his perception of events as intrinsically negative and as tailored to his personal dissatisfaction. And your bad luck is the same way. I believe so, anyway. Okay? What would happen if you just cleaned up a bit? Don't you think you would step on a few less hard triangles? Why do you try to help me and stuff? What's the point? It's kind of bothersome and insulting sometimes. So I have a messy room, big deal. My luck fucking blows. It's got nothing to do with it, and you just don't know. You just don't even know. Meddler. Why are you so meddly, Miss Meddlesome, Miss McFussyfangs? Because you're dangerous. No way, I'm just fine. Why don't you can it? Every time you tell me to can it, I think it's funny. I mean, it's just a funny thing to say, don't you think? It's okay to be dangerous. Lots of people are. And dangerous people can be really important. Maybe even the most important sometimes. But it just means there's got to be someone around to keep an eye on them. And if not me, then who? Everyone has an important job to do. Okay, so you're spying on me. Kinda creepy. Man, maybe you should get a life? Or, you know, if you're so high and mighty and think you're so great, maybe you could, I don't know, try and stop me from doing bad things? That wouldn't work. If I tried to stop you, you would regard me as an enemy instead of merely a nuisance. And what good would that do? So I'm afraid McFussyfangs it must be. Ugh. Okay, great, fine. I'm gonna go check on my Lucis now, but I'm starting to think you're all full of shit, and I'm quite sure she will be quite fine. You're right. Anything can happen, I guess. But just so you know, I'm sorry for your loss in advance. Ugh, why didn't I just get the last word in and sign off real quick like I usually do? Let you sneak that stinking little ninja quip in there. Ah, so mad. Lousy, stupid, goddamn supportive friends. Friska, check on your Lucis. You go down like the 50 million stairs to her nest below. You wonder if any other kid on the planet has such a high-maintenance Lucis. You doubt it. You pass by one of your completed doomsday devices. You promised you'd build it for an especially powerful and influential member of the nautical aristocracy, in return for his collusion during your campaigns. Some guy you were in cahoots with. You guess none of it matters now, though. It was tough to build, and it isn't perfect yet. Luckily, one of your pals nearby is pretty handy with technology. He can be tapped for parts and favors quite frequently. You wonder if any other kid on the planet has as many irons in the fire as you. You doubt it. See? Look at this. She's fine. Fine and huge and hungry as ever. You guess you're relieved? Yes, of course. Why wouldn't you be? It'd be devastating if anything happened to your dear, sweet custodian. Oh no. Oh no. I guess there's no delaying this guy's introduction anymore. As long as we're in the neighborhood. Your name is Equius Zahak. You love being strong. You are so strong, you would surely be the class of the elite legion of ruffian annihilators. And while such a calling would be quite honorable, you would prefer to join the ranks of the arch eradicators, perhaps the most noble echelon the Imperial forces have to offer. Unfortunately, you suck at archery. You have not successfully fired a single arrow. Every time you try, you break the bow. You're simply too strong. You've broken so many bows, it has developed into a habit bordering on the fetishistic. You have to stop. but addiction is a powerful thing. You have great appreciation for the fine arts. You use your aristocratic connections to acquire priceless masterpieces, painted in the oldest and most respected Alternian tradition of nude muscle beast portraits. These striking depictions of the exquisite fauna native to Alternia remind you of the purest physical ideal that must be sought by anyone who professes a love of strength. When those of lesser bloodlines turn up their uncultured noses at you at such stunning material, it makes you furious. Well, practically everything makes you furious. You have so much rage. It can only be expressed through staggering quantities of physical violence. You build strong and sturdy robots, set them to kill mode, and beat the shit out of them in caged brawls. Sometimes you lose teeth, but they usually grow back. Your troll tag is Centaur's Testicle, and with your bow and arrow ever at the ready, you take exception to lewd language unbefitting of blue bloods. What will you do? Equius, check on Lucis. Now where did that craven excuse for a custodian go? It makes you furious when he goes missing like this. Probably off somewhere nursing his bruises. You swear the old boy's made of glass. You're starting to get agitated. Arthur, where are you? Oh, there he is. He was just preparing an ice-cold glass of nutritious Lucis milk for you, with a thick foamy head on it, just the way you like it. You cannot hope to beat Arthur and a butler off. He's simply the best there is. Equius, thank Arthur. You accept the frosty beverage and give the good fellow a grateful pat as gently as possible. Bruise. Seriously, he's like a summer peach. Equius, drink Lucis milk. Lucis milk is the secret to being strong. Actually, it isn't. You like to think that, though. The truth is, you're really strong because you're kind of a freak. You were chosen by one of the strongest Lucis species on the planet. It was the only sort of custodian that could handle raising you. Whoops, there goes another glass, as usual. Hiss! And as usual, it sends you into a rage. The spilled milk quickly evaporates. Got to do something to calm yourself down. Let off some steam. Equius. Equip a bow. You mean equip. A little archery practice ought to cool you off, but of course, the piece of shit snaps like a twig the moment you pick it up. Actually, the feel of the brittle wood giving way under the astonishing might of your man-grit is starting to calm you down already. You equip it to your half-bowkind specipus, which is pretty much useless. You also keep an old bowkind specipus in the event that you are able to fire an arrow someday, because boy can dream, right? But for more practical purpose, you keep a fistkind card on hand. You stow them all in your strife portfolio. Remember the strife portfolio? It still exists. It didn't stop existing or anything. Equius, answer. You proceed to have a conversation we read not all that long ago. It went mostly like this. Yes. No. Yes. No. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Sorry. No. But when all was said and done, you are quite sure you convinced your good friend to stay on the right team. Not the team full of degenerates with swill coursing through their veins. You're starting to get worked up again. Routine helps calm you down. Maybe you'll talk to another friend. You talk to him every day for some reason, though it's not exactly right to call him a friend. Since you despise him, your relationship with the fellow is difficult to describe. It should be noted that in the troll language, the word for friend is exactly the same as the word for enemy. Equius, talk to friend/enemy. Centaur's Testicle began trolling terminally capricious. Oh boy, this cannot go well.